Good evening, people. Welcome to Reaching Out with Eddie Gray Hope. Well, my guest today is Ike Brown, and I promise you it's going to be a great show, and he's going to tell you the reason why I invited him here today. Folks, last week my guest was Weston Linderman. Got a lot of calls about him, and he assured me that he will be coming back and letting you know what's going on in the city, whether it's good or whether it's bad. He's going to tell you about it. And I think a great follow up to that would be Ike Brown. I want to do a correction. Last week I said that Walter Camper had a sign on 10th Avenue in front of his house. It's not Walter Camper, it's Charles Camper. So I kind of like want to correct that. But here's the thing I want to say about that is that instead of taking the sign and beating him with it, or Charles taking the sign and beating Wayman Newell with it, what we gotta stop going for is we gotta stop allowing them to pat us on the head. You know what I mean? We feel good. We're the kind of people that we're satisfied if someone is patting us on the head, and that's not good. I don't. I mean, patting us on the head. Now you got one race of people. We talking about white folks. White people, they vote with their emotions. They don't do what's good for the community. They don't even care. Let's talk about Tate Reeves. When Tate Reeves ran for office, when he was the state treasurer. When he became state treasurer, the person that ran against him had been working with the state for 20 years and was highly qualified. But they didn't pick that person because he was black. And they hired Tate Reeves, who only qualification he had was a loan officer. Now, Tate Reeves asking you to vote for him now. Or Tate Reeves has Tate Reeves asking you to vote for him now. He's always been anti-education. He's always been anti-mental health. The lieutenant governor controls the agenda for the state of Mississippi in the Senate. He controls the agenda. So it's up to the lieutenant governor to determine what kind of bills are passed because he's going to put those bills to the floor. They have what you call a supermajority. Democrats are basically lame ducks. They can't do anything or get anything done unless they make a deal because they don't have a majority. So you have a lieutenant governor who controls the agenda. You got to look at the state of Mississippi. The population in the state of Mississippi has went down. It has not went up. So the state of Mississippi is a declining state. City Meridian declining. Lauderdale County declining. There's no growth and development. So that points to leadership, folks. Now, I'm talking about Tate Reeves. Did you know that Donald Trump is coming here to endorse him? Coming here to endorse him. Now, I got pictures, and it's on my website, and the Dice Man gonna pull them up, where Wayman Newell is with Tate Reeves, and he's grinning like a rabbit. I mean, he's there at all of his fundraisers, paying that money. So he's telling you who he is. He cannot have it both ways. We got to stop being satisfied with a pat on the head because the master come and pat us on the head. We got to start holding these elected officials, regardless of what color they are, regardless of what uh, party they're with, we got to hold them accountable. So look at his report card. What has he done? Look at the state of the state. Look at the state of the city. Look at the state of the county. What is it has they done? If they have not done anything, and to brag about, hey, we're a good, great group of people working together, we're working together, you have not accomplished anything. And now all of a sudden you're jumping for photo ops in front of a graveyard or talking about building a new courthouse. Let's talk about the budget. Wayman Newell didn't even know what it was. But Craig Houston, who's running against him, did. Jonathan Wells, District 1 supervisor. He's the reason why we don't have a sports complex over there today. See, racism. Racism is what made so many people lose their lives during the Civil War. Most of the people that died during the Civil War did not have a dog in that fight, meaning that they didn't own property, they didn't own plantation, they didn't own slaves, but their emotion. I mean, the lowest of a white man feel like that he's higher than the most educated black man. And we got to get away from that. So let's look at the issues. So I'm here. I'm talking black and I'm talking white. But we got to look at the issues. You got to rise up above your emotions. Look at what's going on in the United States. If you guys, all you black folks, is allowing for Wayman Newell to come and see you and pat you on the head and tell you something, it's sad. It's sad. If you ain't looking at the children, if you're not looking at the state of your community, if you living in your mama house or your dad's house, there's something wrong with that. And you supporting a person and you hadn't done well in life because you're not living in your own property. You are not living where you went out and by the sweat of your brow created a job for yourself and built you a house. You living in a house that was earmarked to you, a house that was given to you, but yet you supporting someone that does not have your best interest at heart. He does not care about you. We got to get away from the collard greens and the watermelons and the pat on the head and a load of dirt every now and then and look at the community. White folks, please stop being racist. Stop allowing for your emotions to rule you. You got to look at this community right here. Did you know that Tate Ruiz did his commercial? He did it at a private school while talking about public education. Wow. You know, his children go to Jackson Prep. And they just now doing a pay raise. In the years that he's been lieutenant governor, I guess that's 8 years, 4 years as state treasurer, he has not done anything to enrich this city or make this city better. And again, we keep not putting the most qualified person in position of authority. And we see that. Ike Brown, welcome to Reaching Out with Eddie. How are you doing today?
Doing quite fine.
Ike, what, I know you heard me speaking. Did I say anything wrong?
No, I just need to add for Wayman Newell, it's like voting for Donald Trump. Donald Trump is in the region by having a white man in a black district. That's like having Donald Trump. Wayman Newell is another Donald Trump. And we need to get Donald Trump out of Lauderdale County.
And,
And on top of that, we only got one minority supervisor. And if we have two, that's a motion and a second. That's a chance to get more things for the community. So I come from a community that have 4 black supervisors, and it makes a lot of difference. But we look at Lauderdale County as a laughing stock because they have a Donald Trump man in a black district, and that's awful.
Ike Brown, would you mind telling the people something about yourself, like your history? You ran for public office before, and you've been in public office. Could you tell people, and then tell people how it is when you speak the truth, when you say things, when you overturn the apple cart, they don't like that. So tell the people some of your history.
Well, I'm one of the only black men that was sued for discrimination against white people. And the only thing we discriminated was we made sure black people got elected. And the federal government didn't like that. So they came after me. But I'm still going. We still electing black folks. And I was in Meridian to help get the first black mayor that was Percy Blaine. And now I'm trying to help get back and have 2 black supervisors in Lauderdale County for now, because in the future, we may have 3 black supervisors. And you'll be running everything. Because Lauderdale County is turning black.
And that is true. Right now, you heard the chief deputy say that white folks are 54% and black people is about 46, probably about 45%. And that's good. But here's the thing of it is, it's not that we're breeding. That's one thing we're doing. We're steady making babies. Another thing, too, is they're leaving. But we're not leaving. Mostly we're leaving because we're not empowered to do so. But one of the things that has really kept Mississippi at the bottom of everything good is because of the good old boy system. Wayman Newell is a good old boy. He's not that smart. He's not that educated. He don't even understand the issues. Go back and look at, we'll play the soundbite for you in a future show before election, where they asked him the state of the county, how much money the county has on hand. He did not know the answer to that. So you're talking about somebody been there for 12 years and don't know the answer to that? Call in 601-627-5318. Also, thumb up, like us on YouTube. A lot of you are going to our website and you're going to YouTube and you're taking the link and you're sharing it on your Facebook page. We love that. But could you please tell those people that come, you helping you when you do that, it's okay, but not really, because they need to go to our website and like it. So send them to like us. Keep doing that if you want to. We want the world to know, but we want you to subscribe. So subscribe, tell them to subscribe, even though they got it. If they like what we're doing, subscribe so we can keep on doing this. Ike, you talked about electing the first black mayor. Are you satisfied with that?
Yes, for this reason. Once you get a black mayor in, even if it's not satisfactory, you can put another one in place. Got to break the ice. That's what I call breaking the ice. And we've done that in Kimball County. We did it in Knoxville County. We did it in Columbus. So once you break the ice, everything else is much easier. But you got to break the ice. And that's why it's so important to get Donald Trump out of office in Lauderdale County. I know they're trying to impeach him, but in the meantime, he needs to be run out of Lauderdale County And Wayman Newell is Donald Trump look-alike.
He most certainly, he not only looked like him, he act like him. You remember when he ran for office over in 2003, he ran against he ran against Jimmy Smith, and he did not win. So he ran again in 2007. And one of the things that he talked about is doing something, the lack of accountability, doing something for the roads, giving money to East Mississippi Business Development Corporation, where he continued to do that. Not only did he continue to do that, they paid $15,000 for Bob Leak, who's the one of the main engineer and the principal owner of, I think it's LPK Engineers or PLK, one way or the other, and Bill Hammond, who's over EMBDC. And they've been here for 20 years, folks, but this is a declining county. There's no growth and development here. What have they developed other than an income for themselves and their family? And they don't like it when people like me talk like this because they don't want, as long as they can continue to steal and do things in secret, when we talk about it and expose them, then they get upset and then they do things like they did. They came after Ike Brown and they wanted to sue him. But folks, we got to make a difference. Here's what we got to do now. Ike is our. The irony is that we had to first break the ice, baby. Folks, we got to break the ice and get rid of Raymond Newell because he has money from all those Republican donors. When you see him standing there with people like Ann Alexander and folks like that, the Delaney's, that who have supporting everything, you can just about. And I got a list, and I sent that. If you can go to my reaching out with Eddie at yahoo.com dice and pull up that picture of the donors for a Republican candidate around here. And I gotta say, we're talking about Cassie Coleman. And the reason why I want to talk about Cassie Coleman is because she has an advertisement on WTOK now in clear violation of the Hatch Act. Those of you who don't know what the Hatch Act is, Google it. Could you explain to them what the Hatch Act is?
Hijack deal with people who on failed employment and they're supposed to not participate in politics. Because now, if a Republican involved, like Donald Trump, his secretary violates the Hatch Act. Cassie Coleman, Republican, they help their people out. But you're not supposed to do it.
And for the sheriff of Lauderdale County to be standing there in uniform, he's a government employee. He's a state employee. He's getting federal funding. He's standing there in uniform, which is clearly in violation of the Hatch Act. So we can't have people that's going to run for public office and then violate these different acts. We can't have one set of law. We can't have a set of law for them and a set of law for us. And let's talk about Joey Mose, the guy. I know you go to WTOK and you see where in Enterprise or somewhere in Clark County that a police officer was shooting at somebody. Well, that was Joey Mose. Either he's an assistant chief, since then been suspended. He was so upset about being involved in a wreck that he started shooting. He shot at the guy, I'm told, 16 times. And the guy was so afraid, he had his children in the car, he ran for his life. Yes, people, this is going on in Meridian, Mississippi. I got to send a thumbs up to Michael Moore. I know you're listening. I don't know where you are, whether you're in Dallas, but tell the people in Dallas to listen that up. If you're in Washington, D.C., tell the people in Washington, D.C. to subscribe to Reaching Out with Eddie.com so they can know how these Bama's doing things down here in Meridian, Mississippi. And then this guy also is standing behind Cassie Coleman. See, you ain't got to all the time listen at a person because they ain't going to tell you the truth all the time. But watch what kind of clothes they wear. Look at the baggage. Look in behind her and see what's back there supporting her. Now, let me tell y'all this, folks, is that Mississippi law change. Mississippi law change, and the code is, it's Mississippi Code, it's MCA, Mississippi Code Annotated 99-1971. Now, what this does is allow for, if you have one felony conviction, for it to be expunged. And I just sent my paper up there for my felony to be expunged. I'm telling you about it because I want y'all to know. Because if anybody do any kind of backdoor anything to me, well, I'm the one to do it to, because I'm going to fight you all the way to the Supreme Court if you do anything wrong. I know what the law says. The law says that if I have one felony record and it's been more than 5 years, that I can get it expunged if it's not a violent crime. Now, I'm going to read that to you on a maybe Tuesday when I come back, so that you guys out there that have one felony, if it's been 5 years and it says that you petition, all you have to do is let the DA give them 10 days notice. You don't have to summon them to court, just give them 10 days notice. And also, once you do that, then you can, I keep hearing myself, folks. If you're hearing me hearing myself, just kind of ignore that. We got a new computer with more power, and we'll work those glitches out in the future. And so don't look at our technology because this is we're new at this. But listen to our message. I promise you, we got a hellified message for you. But I want to say this, and if the judge deny your petition, he can't say something general. He got to be specific. Eddie, you did this, you did that. He got to be specific. The law says he has to be specific in his denial. And expungement means cleaning, folks. So yes, I filed that for me, and I filed it for someone else too. I ain't gonna call his name because that's his business. But the thing of it is that I want you to know, people, is that the law is set up to save us. The law is set up to protect us. But when we have people, it's got to be something going on. We got to break this ice.
Exactly.
We got to. We need a new DA. You care to talk to the people about that?
But most important is to get a Democratic DA who owes something to the black community, and therefore you have more power. And the only way a Democratic DA will be elected, Lauderdale County blacks come in with Wayne County black, Clark County black, and Kemper County blacks together. He'll know that he owes you, and you'll be able to get a lot done. A lot done.
And Ike, you say in Knoxville County, y'all have 4 black supervisors. And how is Knoxville County for its solvency? How much money do they? How they doing? What are some of the things that Knoxville County is doing that's good?
Well, one of the things my prior chair told me, he said we might not be doing everything right, but we running it. So we now have a black DA for Knoxville County, and it made a world of difference in the court system. A world of difference. Because the small things don't come to court no more. They get worked out.
That's right.
And you can talk to the DA. It's Scott Cologne is our district attorney, and we just elected our first black county attorney. So, and he's in the family with me, so we all in one group together. It makes a difference.
So I gotta ask you this. You said the federal government came after you. So how did that end up? Did you end up winning, losing, or drawing?
I say more like a draw because when it was over with, they told my attorney that was one of the worst mistakes they ever made because nothing changed.
That's right.
I stayed Democratic chairman. We still run the elections, and we still winning all the elections. All they did was spend a lot of money.
And I gotta ask you this: why is it some of the black people, especially in this county here in this area, they're afraid of you. They don't want to reach out to you and ask for your support or your expertise. Could you care to elaborate on that?
Well, I think that might be because if white folks don't like you, with some black folks, they don't want to get near you. They might talk to you on the slide, but it don't bother me. All I like to do is to win and see my people win.
I can remember when we elected the first black mayor. You and that's where we really got close at,
That's
me,
right.
you and Gary. And also, I can remember when, I think once he won the primary, he kind of changed a little bit, kind of like want to shift you in the background.
Well, that didn't bother me.
Because we still won. Hey, we got a call on the air. Caller, we going to answer your phone. Caller, you on the World Wide Web. We're reaching out with Eddie and Ike Brown here. Do you have a question for us or a comment?
I have a comment. Good evening, everybody who's looking, listening, talking, whatever. This is Marie Franklin, your next supervisor for District 5. Can y'all hear me well?
We can hear you well, Marie, and want to thank you for coming in. Do you have a comment or a question for Ike Brown? We really appreciate you running. And
it's
I want
good to see Ike Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to see him.
He's still
and
looking.
I just got a comment to add to what he said. I agree 100% that black people need to get out and get out in droves for DA, for governor, for all the supervisors, for transportation. We need to get to the polls. But also, I want to add to the fact that anybody looking or listening, white people also, Latinos, Mexicans, if you register voting, you want to change, you want to do what's right, you want a DA to do what's right, you don't have to stick to being a Republican. We're going to have to break this cycle of going with parties. Go with people. Go with what's right, and let's get the right DA in there. And if it's the time, show us. It's time for us to get some of these Republicans out of office. They've been running Mississippi for years. people and I implore white ones, vote Democrat. Vote for a change so you can get some working people that will work for you.
Marie, thank you very much for calling in. Just want to say this is that we didn't mention Tarquez Hobson, who's running also for
Good.
judge in District 3 against Early. And Early saying re-election, but it's not a re-election because he's appointed. People, when they are appointing folks for you, you can see that Mississippi is at the very bottom of everything. So that means that's leadership. Leadership is time for change. And I agree. And the reason why I said vote Democrat at this particular time, you can't vote Republican because they cannot have if they've been there and you see the state of the state, you see the state of the county, you see the state of the city. It's time for change. Ike, what you got to say about that?
I think change is coming. I'm thinking about my hometown, Kent. Canton was well known. Martin Luther King came there, he got tear gas. Now Canton has a black mayor. My nephew is chief of police. My niece is the judge, and my great nephew is on the board of aldermen.
And that is so good. I gotta commend you, Ike, for want to thank you for your service and just thank you for being the strong black man that you are and a human being first. And it's what's wrong that Ike. I mean, he look at him, folks. I think you had a stroke before, had you? And folks, he's still here and he's still fighting for the cause because the job ain't done. It is not done.
No.
But it's sad. Another commercial, folks. I gotta call Al Willis out, and I told him I was. I called Al Willis out because Al Willis is on the commercial also with Cassie Coleman, and you know what? That's sad. And I talked to him, and I told him. He said, and first I want to say this. He had a stroke. He's in the hospital, and so I hope his health and hope he be okay. But it does not help us when somebody that's respected in the black community stand up with somebody that's not right for the black community, stand up as if I'm endorsing you. What you didn't endorse her, you endorse everything that's wrong with her. You endorse that everything stay the same and things are not okay in Lauderdale County. I just got to tell you that. And so I can't, and I'm going to tell you what he told me. He said she done him a favor. Damn it, I just got to tell you, I just don't give a damn about favors being done if it's going to be at the expense of our children, our community, and our children, my neighbor and your neighbor getting thrown away, such as the two black guys in Clark County. One didn't have a criminal record at all, and the other one had only been convicted for a misdemeanor, and those guys got 25 years. I was in the courtroom and saw that. 15 years suspended, and that was Cassie Coleman that I saw done that to her. I still, I got to tell you, I still had a sign out there. But after I continue to see other guys getting a lot of sentences that, I mean, we just got to get away from that. So I could no longer support that, Ike. We're going to answer this call, and then I want you to talk about that. Caller, we sure appreciate you calling in. You on the World Wide Web with Reaching Out with Eddie and Ike Brown. Hello.
This is Tracy, and I have a comment.
Go ahead, Tracy. And folks, before you, Tracy is that's my princess. That's my oldest child. Love you, baby.
Love you too, Daddy. Just want to say, y'all keep up the good work. If I don't get a chance to tune in, I always go back and watch the podcast. And I just like what y'all doing for Lauderdale County. It's much needed, and just keep up the good work.
Okay, and thank you for calling in, baby. Hey, and tell all your relatives to get out and vote. I know that they're registered because I registered a lot of them. Tell them we need that vote, okay?
Okay, I will.
All right.
Love you, Daddy. Bye, everybody.
All
Bye.
right.
Yeah, Ike, you care to talk about that when a black person would stand up and support something that's, how is it that this is continuing to happen in 2019? I call that's the pat on the head that I'm talking about.
Well, you got two things you mentioned. If you did me a favor, okay. But did you do my people a favor?
Boy, that's profound. That is profound. Did you do my people a favor? Are you doing my people a favor now? And we got to get away from that. And what about the people that get paid to support Wayman Newell?
That's doing them a favor.
It ain't doing us a favor.
Ain't doing us no kind of favor.
Folks, I want to apologize for that. I didn't turn my phone off. But anyway, y'all heard what I just said. When a person, uh, like such as if somebody do me a favor, that's not doing my people a favor, and that's one thing that now I turned in my paper for expungement. Now, conventional wisdom would tell me that I should not have said anything negative about the DA
So you want to get this money.
because I want to get my expungement. But if the law says that I'm eligible for it, I'm
Lord.
gonna get my expungement.
Right.
I don't need a favor done. I just need for her not to break the law.
Right.
That's all I'm asking. I need for the judge to follow the law.
Right.
And so that's all I'm asking people. So I'm still here telling you what it is that you need to know. And I'm filing these papers so that I can get an expungement. So I don't want a favor. I should be able to call the DA if I'm concerned about something, just like any of you out there should be able to call the DA. And I was chosen for jury duty, and I'm going to read you guys that law. The next person that get chosen for jury duty and they ask you, have you been convicted of a felony? Tell them yes. And then call me up and we going to sue them. Because they don't have a right to strike you from a jury because you're convicted of a felony. The law says that if your felony is so old, then you can serve on a jury. So they don't have a reason to strike you. In my opinion, that ain't a question they should be asking you. Because the clerk supposed to be purging the poll. Am I right or wrong?
Supposed to be.
Well, so if you on that poll, you vote. So if my vote don't count, does that neutralize anybody I ever voted for?
Well, in some states they've gotten away with choosing jury by voter roll. They choosing jury by people in general, so everybody get a chance to say it.
And that's the way it should be here. What they want to do is they want to cherry pick the jury and cherry pick everything else so they can control the outcome. So the law is not really working. So you don't have a fair, in my opinion, you don't have a fair system when the pool is chosen from a jury pool. But I mean from the voters roll. But it's chosen from the voters roll, then certain questions shouldn't be asked.
True.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
It ain't none of your business. Can I tell them that, Ike, you reckon?
Yes.
If they ask me if I've been, none of your business. I ain't finna tell you that. I'm here ready to do my job.
Never get the law changed.
Yeah, and that's what we do is change the law. So Ike, we gonna take us a break right now, Ike, and Dice man, I want you to play me a song. Ike, I haven't finished with you yet, but we gonna take us a break.
Okay.
And then we gonna come back and talk some more, okay?
That's fine.
All right, Dice man, play me a song.
get some sound now. Y'all say something?
Testing one, two, three.
Okay. We back
Okay,
now.
folks. Welcome back to Reaching Out with Eddie, where my guest is Ike Brown. And folks, I want to thank him here in front of all you. Ike, I want to thank you for your service to the community, and I want to thank you for staying at task. Just want to
Yeah.
thank you for that. Folks, you gotta ask when people come smiling in your face and telling you to vote for them. You gotta ask them, what am I getting for my vote? What is it have you done for me since you've been in office? Now, let's just take me out of it. What have you done, period, since you've been in office? If they can't answer those questions, then why would you even consider voting for them again? And like Ike said, man, that was profound what he said. Doing me a favor, how about doing the people a
People.
favor? That's right.
Yeah.
And so you got to ask that. You, don't let anyone, too. I'm hearing that some people are saying, and I got to say this, we're not talking about Loretta Allen. We're not talking about Lolo because she's really working hard out there for Craig Houston. And Loretta, we want to appreciate you for that because, see, she went and she has a lot of followers. So, and we know that every vote counts. But we can't go out telling people. We got some people out there encouraging people to do a write-in. That's wasting their vote.
Wasting the vote.
Can you talk to the people about that?
In Mississippi, if you do a write-in, the whole ballot is thrown out. So you lose the governor and everything. And if you do a write-in, the whole ballot gets thrown out.
So you hadn't done anything, and so don't let
Well, you
anyone.
done worse than anything.
That's
You
right.
got the whole ballot thrown out.
That's right, because it's maybe somebody else. So while they telling you to do a write-in, they're not telling you that you're wasting your entire vote. So maybe you want to say, if I'm running and Ike is running, you do a write-in on me, but you voted for Ike because you really wanted him to get the job. Well, guess what? Ike just lost that vote and might lose the job because every vote counts.
Yeah.
So if anybody out there saying do a write-in, that's just pure ignorance.
Right. And let me say another word about Craig Houston. He's not running for office. You running for office. Because if you get him elected, then you can go in that courthouse and get waited on and see people because he's a good young man, and Wayman Newell is Donald Trump. And Donald Trump put people in cages, and we don't want that in Lauderdale County. Keep going.
Yeah. You still on?
Okay, and I also remember my cousin Robert Chin, who was in Canton. He once told me, think with your heart, but think with your head, not with your heart. So if you don't like somebody, is that better for you for him to win? And if you didn't like Craig Houston, think with your head. He better for the black community. And that will help the entire black community. Donald Trump is not good for us. And Wayman Newell is Donald Trump. Let me say that again. Wayman Newell is Donald Trump. If you want Donald Trump in, vote for Wayman Newell. If you want the Democrat, Joe Biden in or whatever, then go for Craig Houston. It's just that simple.
And folks, I want to say also is that if a person is voting for Wayman Newell and he's Trump like, that person is voting with their emotions. These people are racist. They cannot. They gotta be prejudiced and racist and don't give a damn about a black person or a black person interest. And because of that hate that's spilling over from the Civil War,
Right.
they are still destroying this community right here. The first race riot, 1871. You can Google it. The race riot of Meridian in 1871 was done right here in Meridian. Jim Crow started in the state of Mississippi. But look where we are. We're not number one anything other than hate, and we're number one in not educating our children. We're number one in the amount of welfare that our people get. We're number one when it comes to lowest per capita income. We're the lowest when everything that's good, we're at the bottom, and everything that's bad, we're at the top. And that's come to leadership. And so white people, I gotta beseech you. I'm imploring you, hey look, I don't care if you don't like me. Look at the message. Look at the community. Look at it. When you go through Meridian, go through Lauderdale County, you see that there's no growth. It's declining. There has been counties that are still there, but nobody lives there. There are cities that no one lives there. How is it that when you're not gonna live forever? And when people like Charles Campbell and Nate Pringle have support Wayman Newell, well, they don't have your best interest. They're doing that for them and not for the community. And they most certainly have a right to vote anyway. They just like Al Willis had a right to stand up there with Cass and Freeman Walker. I think that's his name. And the other person. Wow, and then the sheriff, all of them clearly in violation of the Hatch Act because they're using their uniform, they're using their office in order to promote a political candidate, and that's a violation of the Hatch Act. So, wow, and then here the thing of this, WTOK allows for this to happen. See, I don't watch WTOK. I just go to it every now and then to see is it any kind of news areas of interest for me. But usually what they put on WTOK is not an interest for us. They're going to put things in there about our children being arrested, our children going to jail. Let me talk about my son, Lil G. His name is Octavius Hope. Now they didn't know his name, and they wanted him for questioning for murder of this child named Lewis. Forgot his first name, and so when WTOK put his picture up there, but once the police department freed him and said he was no longer suspect, they didn't want to put that up there. They said that wasn't news. Well, the hell it ain't. You done put up there that they looking for me. So what if somebody saw me and shot me and killed me, and I'm speaking as if I'm in my son's. What if somebody had shot and killed my son because they thought that he was still wanted by the police? Let's say a police officer in another county saw him and then killed him. Well, I didn't know that he wasn't free. I thought he was still wanted. Well, I got a dead son and I'm grieving. But WTOK does this community any service, right? Because they're political. They're too political. They promote things that kind of like maintain status quo. So we can say WTOK has helped kill this community. Ike, we got to really inspire people to get out and vote. Are some things that you suggest that we do?
Well, it's not November the 5th yet, but if you're 65 or older like I am, I have already voted. So you can go to the courthouse now and vote. If you got college kids in your family, take them there now. We got to go vote early. Because that's what wins the election. That's why I was sued. Because Knoxville County have so many absentees that they can't win. And we want to do this in Lauderdale County. You go and vote early, we have a lot of votes in early, they can't win. And we must win. We must win.
We got to win because if we don't win this time, they get to redraw the district line, and the District 2 was created by the Justice Department
Right.
for a black person. So if Wayman Newell is there, if he's reelected, then he's going to redraw the district lines, and he ain't going to need any of you. He ain't going to have to pay you then, Nate. Charles, he don't care. He ain't going to do none of y'all no favor then. But here the thing of it is, let's just take that out of it. He's just not qualified to be a supervisor. He's not. Well, we got a caller coming in, and we going to listen at this caller. Caller, you on the World Wide Web with Reaching Out with Eddie. Talk to us and Ike Brown.
Eddie, I just wanted to call back before Mr. Brown left. You asked him a question, and rather than him answering, as a registered voter and a member of the community, I want to chime in on that question. You asked him why people act like they was afraid of him, and his answer was about them suing him. Well, that's the climate in Mississippi. It's the same thing as they done to you.
That's right.
As they done to Randall Jennings, at the time as they done to Richard Coleman, when you can be a person who works hard for your community and for your city or your county, and as long as they don't have a problem with you, stay in your place, as long as you stay in your lane, as they say, then you're okay. But the moment that you really step out and say, forget all of that, I'm going to stand for what's right, and I'm going to stand. I don't care who don't like it, but I'm going to stand. Well, when the up crowd don't like you, throw your name out there in the mud, tell all kind of lies on you, then your community, your race, would turn on you because of what they say. Not that they're doing anything for them. It's just that they didn't want Mr. Brown to be known as a, as a civil rights worker, as an activist in his community. But actually, he is.
And
Like
he
he
is.
said, he had to spend money. And that's what they want you to do, is spend your money so that, and they would take positions where we pay them, as in the DA, to come at you. So you spend your money knowing that you're innocent. So that's why the black community, a lot of them act like they're afraid of Mr. Brown in Lauderdale County. But I just want to say to him, for those of us who know what we know, and we willing to stand, we appreciate it. And I'll be glad when Lauderdale County get on board.
Thank you, Marie. I
Th-
appreciate.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, and I want to reiterate, I'll stand with you anywhere in front of anybody, and if you call me, I'll come. And I know if I call you, you'll come. Because people, I called him, and he's here. And you know Gary Naylor's out. Gary Naylor, he gonna be too far without Gary. Hey, we need to get Gary on the microphone because he has some things that he really could say, but perhaps maybe the next time Ike come out, we're gonna bring Gary in this
Yeah.
room, and we're gonna get both of them here. And Ike, you're gonna come back and see us, aren't you?
Oh, yes.
We like for you, yeah, and because it's some things that is it anything you want to tell the people? Anything you want to say to them?
Well, November 5th, Craig Houston will make my day.
That's right. And Ike, I can just tell you that I really appreciate you, Dice Man over there shaking his head. We appreciate you. We love the job. We love your spirit, and we love the fact that even though your health is not as 100% like it used to be, but you still 100%, folks. He's still 100%. He's still doing everything that he has always done, and it ain't no fear in him, and it ain't no backing up. I gotta say, he's my hero. He's a living hero, and I'm telling him that because I know if something happened to him, all kind of people have a lot of things to say, but I'm telling him to his face right here, right now. I really appreciate you,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna run for mayor. You know, this man, he gonna be my brain trust. I promise you, folks, I'm gonna run for mayor. It doesn't matter whether they expunge my paper or not. I'm gonna run for mayor because I'm voting. If I can vote, I just happen to think I'm just that ignorant. I'm just that obstinate to think that if I'm able to vote, then I'm able to sit on a jury and I'm able to run for office. You can't take my vote and tell me I can't run for office. I ain't going for that. I'm gonna fight you.
Let me add this. Craig Houston's uncle made history. He was the first black mayor in DeKalb, Mississippi, and I stood for him on the recount. Clark Adams, first black mayor.
Is that now? Or?
Now,
Oh yeah, folks. We got Clark. Congratulations. Now we got a Craig Houston going down in history is taking our seat back, and once we get it back, we're not gonna lose it
right.
again. We're not gonna. I gotta apologize to Jimmy Smith, and I apologize to him because I helped unseat him. I didn't vote for him in '07 when he lost. So I want to apologize to you, Jimmy, because it was wrong. Because we mess around and put somebody in there. He said that he was going to stop giving money to East Mississippi Business Development Corporation, but he has not done that. Not only that, he done got in bed with them and not doing anything. He has not done anything. One thing I can say about Jimmy, when the first Jimmy, the first and second and third Jimmy, oh, he was on his job. And and in the end, it seemed like it kind of like. But either way, Jimmy, if I had it to do all over again, I would vote for you, and we wouldn't be going through what we're going through now. So, folks, let this be a lesson to us. All right, what you got to say about that? Don't you agree?
Yes, but don't forget the first one. He's still here, Reverend Willie Brown.
That's right, Reverend Brown. I forgot about Reverend Brown. How you doing? That's right. He was the first, and they came after him. Why did they come after him?
He was first.
And guess what, people? They fixed it so he couldn't even run for political office at all. That's in his plea agreement. Am I right or wrong?
That's right.
He can't ever run. See what they did? They put him in jail, and then they tell him he can't run. That's just how popular he was. See, they controlled his destiny when they did that. But how about we got Jimmy Smith in, and now we got Percy in there, and Percy doing some things, and now it's time for Percy to go. I think it's time for change because what I want to see is growth and development, and I expected that with our first black mayor. I don't think our first black mayor should got in bed with maybe people like, well, we gonna say the money people in this community. If you get in bed with the money people, how you can tell that? Because there's no growth and development in the community. Dice, can you pull that fundraiser for Cassie Coleman up? I sent it to look for it. It's in my email. And if you can pull it up, I want the people to see that, and I want them to see the list of the donors. These are the people here that, in my opinion, that has not helped growth and development in Lauderdale County. But they bankbook most certainly has grown. I can tell you that because they continue to enrich themselves. But it's not about doing a group of people a favor. It's not about enriching a group of people. How about let's enrich the community? I wouldn't go. I can remember when when we wanted Janet McLean, she was the superintendent, we wanted her to go. And they invited me to they got a country club. It's a hunting lodge down Highway 59. Obi went to it, but I said, Obi, I ain't going up in there. I said, man, I'm not finna go in there. And I've been offered money before by the Republican Party, and I wouldn't take it. It's going way back in the day, but we don't have to talk names. He's no longer the mayor of Meridian. See, once they give you money and you take it, they own you. They buying you. That's what they try. They try to buy you. They want to buy all of us. And it so happened that some of us that have maybe presence in the community or standing in the community, sometimes we use that for the wrong reason. And I'll be glad when we can get away from that. I wanna do a quote from Stokely Carmichael, Kwame Ture. He changed his name because he died in his 50s, and he said the government killed him. I wouldn't be surprised. He said, if not now, when? If not you, who? Folks, if not now, when? If not you, who? Surely you can't expect your neighbor to do what you should do. Well, how about if you can't get your neighbor to do it who's just like you? Well, what about the person that's not like you at all? How can you expect a white man to do what you won't do? It's up to you to control your destiny. You should not let anyone control your vote or control your destiny. If they control your vote, they control your destiny. And if your destiny is not good and you're not doing good in this community, it's something wrong with it. Don't let anyone control your vote. Vote your heart. Again, I'm going to say, if not now, when? If not you, who? If I am not for myself, who will be? If I am not for myself alone. You see that this is Stokely Carmichael in his 50s and 60s saying this. He said, if I'm not for myself, who will be? He said, if I'm for myself alone, who am I? If I'm doing this for myself alone, who am I? Meaning that if I'm doing something, if I'm getting paid to put a sign in the yard, who the hell am I? And so, and if I'm not for myself, who will be? If I don't speak up for my people, for my children, who gonna speak up for them? My daughter had a situation on the school bus. I am a father hands-on. I spoke up for her. So how can we expect, if I don't speak up for my daughter, you don't have the authority to do so. I can't vote for you. So if Wayman Newell is not speaking up for you, if he's not doing anything for your children, if there's no growth and development in this community, damn it, you gotta change it out. This is democracy. We don't owe that Bama nothing. I'm kind of a little bit upset because all of you talking about somebody paid you a favor. Al, damn it. Now you a deacon in the church. Not only that, you always doing programs for the church. You forgot about the children, man. You got to look at a person's record.
Can I do a shout out?
Go ahead.
A shout out to Miss Betty Jones, working hard for her sister Jennifer Riley Collins. I've never met her, but I see she's working very hard for her family member. And we believe in family.
And you know what? I want to second that shout out, and Miss Collins or whoever else want to come on this show and talk to the people out there. You can. And I don't have to be so radical, because I can tone it down a little bit if you want to talk to the people. But here the thing of it is, it's going to take radical. It ain't never been changed without radical means. It's the truth sometimes hurts. When we tell the truth, we got to tell the truth. And if I'm lying on somebody, tell me. I made a mistake about Walter Camper. I don't know what's in his yard. He live on 29th Avenue. And you can Google it. So I ain't giving out information that's not out there. So I Google it, and it's Charles Camper that live on 10. Sometime Walter used to live there, and it says that on Google. So you can get anything on Google. But it's got to be something going on here when we have so many people, and I call Solly a racist, and I think his record speak for itself. And but one thing I can say about him, if I call on him, he'll come here. But he's a racist. So if you got a person that's standing up there that has a racist agenda, you got another person standing behind this person that just shot at a black person. I mean, they said the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation is investigating it. Shot at a black person 16 times, but that person is standing up there promoting her and want her to be the next DA. Wow, there's something suspect in that. When Weston Linderman was here and he was talking about uh, the CAO promoting Cassie Coleman. Well, if there's corruption done, we've already found that out. If it's corruption done and it's up to the local district attorney to prosecute or not prosecute. So we got to get away from this thing, this cronyism, where we're doing favors where people like the Andrachios have to spend a lot of money in order to get justice, when it's clear when you look at the videos that something's been wrong and something's covered up. And so we inviting the Justice Department to come in here and look at it. But here's one thing that I got to say that Weston Linderman said, and I'm going to give you a chance again to speak. Weston Linderman said, here's one thing that I don't agree with. I think it was Chuck, Representative Young said something to the effect, or either he didn't say this. Let's just say I say this. The reason why Percy hadn't went to jail is because they don't want to put the first elected mayor in Lauderdale County, City Meridian, in jail. I say to hell with that shit. Put his ass in jail if he's breaking the law. I've talked to so many people. They don't want to see him go to jail, but we don't want to see that thing continue to be there embarrassing us by the cronyism and corruption, such as pointing Joe Norwood. And I like Joe, but damn it, he ain't no Parks and Recreation director. And you got Randall Jennings here, who is a strong black male. They won't even give him a job at the school system. And and we need that in front of our children. We need that. Make him Parks and Recreation director. But here's the thing: how do you continue to spend money that you don't have? So I tell the people, when you coming back, Ike?
Well, you got to talk to Gary about that.
Yeah, see, I have to talk to Gary because Gary provides, that's his wheel man. So we really appreciate you coming here. And how about after the election, we get you back again and we can talk about the results of the election.
Sure.
I hope it's a democratic way. Go ahead.
Yeah, again, but talk to Gary about that.
Well, you know I'm going to talk to Gary. Gary's out there listening. He's out there. You think we can get Gary in here tonight? Gary, hey, look here, people. Dice, go out there and get Gary for me. Gary, come on in here.
We see you on the month.
Yeah, come on, Gary. We want you to come on here. Come on.
Now, let me correct something.
Go ahead.
He's not my wheel man. He's my best friend.
Now, I like that. That's his best friend. And like a brother. That's mostly your brother. That's your brother. He got his back. He's there for him. He can call him anytime, and Gary's going to be there. And how about it's not one side of the coin, it's two ways. And when I said wheel man, I didn't mean it in a negative way, meaning that he take him everywhere that he need to go. That if he going to go anywhere, Gary has to be available for him. Because, well, come, Gary, we need you to come in. We need you to sit there. But we need, keep the camera on me while they switch out. We don't care about a minute. We want you to talk to the people. We got to talk to the people for a minute.
Yeah, he's my best friend.
Yeah. And people, we got Gary Naylor. Gary Naylor is Ike Brown's best friend. They're more like brothers. You're not going to see one without the other one. So what we finna do?
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, he's okay.
Just a little bit, step back just a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. You good, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
People, Gary, how you doing?
I'm good, my friend.
Gary, I just want to tell you, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for your service in the community. I want to thank you for being there for Ike because, you know, you his backbone.
He been mine a while, too, though.
And you know that, and people, that is true. They like each other's best friend. They brothers. I mean brothers from different mothers and fathers, but they love each other and they're very sincere and they trust each other. And you know, you don't hardly see that. You see that a lot among our young people, but it's for the wrong reasons. This is for the right reason. Yeah. What is it that you do in Knoxville County?
I'm a park director down there.
Yeah.
And I also coach high school football.
Yeah, and that's very good. And so I just wanted to bring you in so you can say anything you want to tell the people about November the 5th.
I want to tell people about you. You talking about helping the people. You're not a racist per se, but what you trying to do is want people to help your people.
That's right.
You don't want them to keep electing the white people. If it's a white man now, just for your people, that's fine.
That's right.
They don't need to look at you as a racist. You want to keep the racists away from your people.
That's right. You heard what he just said is
Yeah.
profound.
Oh yeah.
I want to keep the racists away from my people, and that's most certainly
Yeah,
true.
they're
And
not
I
gonna
fight
do
for
it.
that.
Oh yeah,
And
you
I
always
fight for
have.
that.
You
Yeah,
always
and
have.
I will continue to fight for that.
Yeah.
People, I want to thank you. I want to thank Ike Brown. I want to thank Gary, Naylor, and I think Dwayne Davis was supposed to be here today. Well, maybe it's next Thursday. So either way, if he don't ever come, people, on November 5th, I want you to vote for him for District 1 Supervisor against Jonathan Webb. Now, they said they got a good team. Well, a good team that has not done anything productive in this county other than go out and travel and make themselves look good and enrich themselves. People, it's time for change. So just again, look at their report card. And Gary, say something to the people.
Oh man, we'll be back after the election. We both will be in here.
And people, again, I wanna thank you for listening in. And Dice Man played me a song. I wanna thank you for listening in. I love my family and all my friends that's throughout the United States. Listen in and see what's going on in Lauderdale County, Meridian. Can you believe it? Y'all have a good evening.
Appreciate you, Ed.
Thank you.